You guys, so the spoilers for chapter 237 is out, and I'm afraid to say it looks like there won't be any more sightings of Gojo in this story. This is it now, Gojo fans, he is fully gone now. But we move on to the future of this story, and with this chapter title, which is called The Battle versus the Strongest, Thunder God Kashima enters the ring. During the Gojo vs Sukuna fight, it was the battle of the strongest. But now that Sukuna has defeated Gojo, it is a battle against the strongest, which basically all but confirms that Sukuna is now the official GOAT of Jujutsu Kaisen. So guys, I'll be going through the leaks of the latest chapter and give my own interpretation on what I think will happen. So if you don't mind being spoiled, then stick around and watch the video. If not, then I'll catch you on another video. It seems as though from one of the leaked panels, Hakari and Kashima were ready to jump into battle against Sukuna. But Kashima jumps in first. So it gets me thinking, are they taking turns in fighting against Sukuna? Why couldn't they both just jump in and finish Sukuna off? I'm guessing is that Kashima would ideally want to finish off Sukuna now because he would feel Sukuna is weakened thanks to his fight with Gojo. But if Sukuna were to kill off Kashima, then they will need more strong candidates to fight off against Sukuna. That's my take from it. Urame appears and apparently gives the cursed tool Kamokake to Sukuna. The cursed tool is in the shape of a sword. Why would Sukuna need to use a cursed tool? We saw pictures of him having a staff during the Heian era, but why would he need a cursed tool now? It's probably due to him being weakened after his fight with Gojo. But what can that cursed tool actually do? Sukuna apparently then launches a lightning attack against Kashima, but because of Kashima's cursed technique, which is electricity, it makes him resistant to the attack. We have seen in the Shibuya incident arc that Sukuna was able to use fire attacks, such as the fire arrow that he used to beat Mahoraga, and now we are seeing him using lightning attacks. Could this cursed tool that Sukuna is using let Sukuna harness the power of the elements and use them to attack against his enemies? Bit of a crazy theory there, but guys, drop your theories down below on the comments what you think Sukuna's cursed tool can do. But what I find hilarious is that Sukuna launched a lightning attack against someone that is known to be the Thunder God. Is Sukuna just taking the piss at this point? I'm going to be releasing videos on Sukuna very soon, and this type of behavior is very reminiscent of the Yuji version of Sukuna, where he is more of a troll and plays mind games with his opponents. Him using a lightning attack against Kashima tells Kashima that his curse technique is not that big of a deal. Sukuna can casually use lightning attacks, whilst Kashima is a specialist. So it's like Sukuna is giving the message that even though you may be the lightning specialist, I can also use lightning attacks as well, and basically you're nothing special. That's the message I'm reading on why Sukuna is using lightning attacks. Now, there was multiple translations that I've read with this, and it's obviously a question relating to Sukuna's strength. The first translation I saw was Kashima asking Sukuna, did you become the strongest or were you born as the strongest? With the second translation being Kashima asking Sukuna to teach him if strength is to be alone and find a place to properly show your powers. Is it a punishment of the strong people? Is it a punishment for the strongest? The first question is a throwback to Geto asking Gojo, are you the strongest because you are Gojo Satoru, or are you Gojo Satoru because you are the strongest? The second question is basically going back to the theme of loneliness when you are deemed to be the strongest. I seriously hope that Sukuna is kept being the bad guy. I really hope they don't do a face turn with Sukuna. Like in the leaks, apparently Sukuna says he was an unwanted child. This could be in a flashback scene or a direct reply to Kashima. But if this is the case, and with Gojo sympathizing with Sukuna in the last chapter, I don't want us to feel bad for him. I don't want it to turn into Shaman King where Hao ended up being saved by everyone because everyone knew how to be a good guy. Now, don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed that ending. It was a very happy ending for the story and for the characters, but Jujutsu Kaisen is not Shaman King. We have seen many fan favorite characters die. Hell, arguably the most popular character in the series and one of the most popular characters in shonen anime died literally in the previous chapter. This series is brutal and has many dark themes with death, loneliness, strength. Hell, the series even promotes being selfish, so it's not like a typical shonen series. So because of that, I don't want Sukuna to get a typical demon within trope, where the evil spirit or demon that possesses the main character ends up being friends with everyone by the endgame of the series. I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen will go down that route because of how brutal the series is. But I'm seeing signs already with Gojo relating to him and trying to reach out to him, and with Sukuna apparently saying he was unwanted as a kid in this chapter. This is seriously giving me Hawa Sakura vibes. Sukuna calls Kashima to fight him. He calls Kashima extravagant, just like how Gojo was. Then after all the small talk is done, the battle begins. Kashima activates his curse technique Genju Koasaku. Kashima punches Sukuna and then it looks like he shapeshifts, changing his face, and then he does a blast from the mouth attacking Sukuna. It's like Kashima did Kaido's Boro Breath attack against Sukuna, which is cool because we hardly see any characters in this series actually have powerful attacks coming from their mouths as if they're dragons. Kashima's curse technique makes his body do blasts of any kind of attack, which Kashima can make from his cursed energy, which is mainly electricity based. So he's basically Eneru from One Piece, who was also considered a god as well. It looks like his whole body turns into lightning, which allows him to launch attacks from his mouth and anywhere else. Kashima then lands another punch on Sukuna's face, but once his curse technique is over, his body will break, and I've seen multiple panels showing Sukuna is being caught off guard. This is probably due to Kashima's speed as well, because he is a lightning-based user, and you can imagine his speed being absolutely ridiculous. Look at Killua from Hunter x Hunter or Zenitsu when he started using God speed, and both of these characters are lightning users as well, so you can imagine Kashima having a similar skill set when it comes to speed. But now, the final spoiler. We have seen the return of Heian-era Sukuna. He didn't even use this form against Gojo, which goes along with the narrative of Sukuna wasn't even using his full strength against Gojo. But could the curse tool that Urame gave Sukuna be the link of him going into his original Heian form? Like I said earlier, we always see Heian-era Sukuna with a sword or a staff. Could that be how he transforms into his full-powered form? Well, that's a question for you guys to answer in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more exciting Jujutsu Kaisen content. We have many more theory videos, character analysis, and discussions coming your way. So, like I always say, don't forget to subscribe to the Shaman Tribe.